The first signs of trouble appeared on a seemingly ordinary Tuesday morning. Elena Vasquez was walking to her usual coffee shop when she noticed something peculiar about the sky. It wasn't just clouds. There was an unusual shimmer that made everything look slightly distorted, like heat waves rising from hot asphalt. As she stood there, staring upward, her phone buzzed incessantly with emergency alerts. Across the globe, similar phenomena were being reported, strange atmospheric disturbances that defied scientific explanation. Within hours, the truth became undeniable as massive alien vessels descended upon major cities worldwide. These weren't the benevolent visitors humanity had hoped for in countless science fiction stories. Their technology was far beyond anything humans had ever encountered, and their intentions seemed unmistakably hostile. Buildings crumbled beneath their immense weight as they positioned themselves strategically above key locations. Panic spread faster than wildfire, turning streets into chaotic mazes of terrified people trying desperately to escape. Military forces scrambled to respond, but conventional weapons proved utterly ineffective against these otherworldly invaders. Quickly became clear that this wasn't merely an invasion, it was an extermination. The aliens moved with calculated precision, establishing control zones while systematically disabling Earth's communication networks and power grids. As chaos reigned supreme, small pockets of resistance began forming spontaneously across the globe. Among them was Elena, who found herself joining forces with others who refused to surrender without a fight. Little did she know that this moment would mark the beginning of humanity's greatest challenge yet. In the aftermath of the initial assault, Elena found herself holed up in what remained of Chicago's underground subway system alongside a ragtag group of survivors. Marcus Johnson, a former Marine whose imposing physique belied his tactical genius, emerged as their de facto leader. His dark skin bore fresh scars from the conflict above, but his eyes burned with determination. Sofia Ramirez, once a brilliant astrophysicist at NASA, brought crucial scientific knowledge to their cause despite visibly trembling hands that betrayed her trauma. Dr. Li Chun, an elderly xenobiologist whose research had previously focused on theoretical alien life forms, now applied his expertise to understanding their attackers. And then there was Captain James Riley, a hardened Air Force pilot whose squadron had been decimated in the opening hours of the invasion, leaving him consumed by guilt and vengeance. Together, they formed an unlikely alliance bound by shared desperation and hope. Their differences often led to heated arguments, particularly between Marcus's military mindset and Sophia's academic approach. But their combined skills created a synergy that might prove vital for survival. The group established a makeshift command center in an abandoned maintenance facility, where flickering fluorescent lights cast eerie shadows on walls covered with hastily drawn maps and notes. They spent countless hours debating strategies, analyzing scraps of alien technology salvaged from battlefield debris, and monitoring increasingly scarce broadcasts from other resistance cells around the world. Each day brought new challenges: dwindling supplies, constant threats of discovery by alien patrols, and the psychological toll of living underground while their world burned above. Yet amidst the darkness, bonds began forming among them, fragile connections forged in shared adversity that would soon be tested beyond measure. The aliens revealed themselves not as mindless conquerors but as methodical exterminators possessing technology that seemed almost magical in its sophistication. Towering beings with crystalline skin that refracted light into dazzling patterns moved among their floating war machines, directing operations with precise efficiency. Their primary weapon systems emitted pulses of energy that could vaporize entire city blocks, yet somehow left surrounding structures intact, suggesting a level of control over fundamental forces of nature that humanity could scarcely comprehend. More disturbing was their apparent ability to manipulate biological matter at will. Reports poured in of people transforming into grotesque hybrids before dissolving into nothingness. This wasn't mere conquest. It was systematic dismantling of Earth's biosphere. The resistance discovered that these invaders operated through a hive mind structure, with each individual linked to a central consciousness housed within their largest vessel, a monolithic construct dubbed the Nexus by human observers. Communication between the aliens occurred through complex patterns of light and sound that seemed almost musical in nature, though attempts to decipher their language had thus far proved futile. What little they understood suggested that Earth held some intrinsic value beyond mere resources or territory, perhaps even threatening their very existence. As days turned into weeks, the aliens began implementing climate-altering technologies that accelerated environmental collapse, pushing Earth's ecosystems toward irreversible tipping points. The air grew thick with static electricity, causing bizarre weather patterns that seemed designed to hasten humanity's extinction. Through careful observation, the Resistance noted that despite their technological superiority, the aliens maintained strict operational protocols that left brief windows of vulnerability during troop rotations and supply deliveries. These precious moments of opportunity became the focus of their planning sessions, though executing any attack against such overwhelming odds remained daunting. Elena's transformation from civilian survivor to resistance fighter unfolded gradually but inevitably. Her natural leadership qualities emerged during crisis situations, when quick thinking and decisive action meant the difference between life and death for the group. Initially reluctant to take charge, she found herself stepping into command roles out of necessity rather than ambition. Her background as a community organizer proved surprisingly relevant. Skills in conflict resolution and resource management translated well to their desperate circumstances. The first major test of her leadership came when alien patrols unexpectedly swept through their sector. While others froze in panic, Elena instinctively organized a defensive strategy using subway tunnels and maintenance corridors to confuse their pursuers. Her calm under pressure inspired confidence among the group members, even Marcus, who had initially bristled at taking orders from someone without military experience. As they survived increasingly dangerous encounters, Elena developed innovative tactics that combined guerrilla warfare with psychological manipulation of their enemies' predictable patterns. She encouraged each member to contribute according to their strengths, while learning from one another's expertise. Sophia's scientific insights informed their approach to alien technology, while Marcus's combat training shaped their engagement strategies. Dr. Chen's observations about alien physiology led to unconventional methods of defense, and Captain Riley's piloting skills opened possibilities for aerial reconnaissance. Under Elena's guidance, the group evolved from mere survivors into a cohesive unit capable of mounting effective resistance. Their successes, though small, demonstrated that the invaders weren't invincible, a revelation that sparked hope among other resistance cells they contacted through improvised communication channels. With each victory, no matter how minor, Elena's confidence grew, solidifying her position as leader. The weight of responsibility sometimes kept her awake at night, staring at crude maps illuminated by flashlight beams, but she never wavered in her commitment to protecting those who had placed their trust in her. The Resistance's first major operation, codenamed Operation Phoenix, targeted an alien supply depot located in the ruins of O'Hare International Airport. Intelligence gathered through careful observation revealed regular resupply convoys arriving every 72 hours, presenting a narrow window of opportunity. The plan involved multiple teams coordinating simultaneous strikes on different access points while creating diversions to draw away reinforcements. Marcus led a strike team through underground service tunnels, while Captain Riley attempted to disable perimeter defenses from above using modified drones. Elena coordinated communications from their command center, maintaining constant contact with all units despite intermittent signal interference caused by alien technology. The operation commenced under cover of darkness, with tension crackling through their communication channels like static electricity. Initial phases proceeded according to plan. Perimeter guards were neutralized, security systems temporarily disabled, and access points secured. However, unexpected complications arose when the aliens deployed automated defense drones that hadn't been observed during previous recon missions. These mechanical sentinels moved with terrifying speed, forcing the teams to adapt their tactics on the fly. Sophia's quick thinking saved several lives when she identified a frequency pattern that could temporarily disrupt the drone's targeting systems. Meanwhile, Dr. Chen's analysis of captured alien equipment revealed vulnerabilities in their energy shielding that allowed Marcus's team to breach the main storage facility. The success came at a cost. 2 team members lost their lives covering the retreat, and several others sustained injuries that would require weeks to heal. Despite these losses, the operation yielded crucial intelligence. crates of unknown biological material being prepared for distribution across occupied territories. This discovery confirms suspicions that the aliens intended to fundamentally alter Earth's ecosystem rather than merely conquer it. The operation's partial success boosted morale among resistance cells worldwide, proving that coordinated efforts could achieve meaningful results against overwhelming odds. As news of Operation Phoenix spread through underground communication networks, the resistance movement gained momentum. Other survivor groups emerged from hiding, eager to join forces and share information. A network of safe houses and supply caches began forming across the Midwest, connected by encrypted communication channels that constantly shifted frequencies to avoid detection. The Chicago cell established itself as a hub of resistance activity, with Elena's leadership style becoming a model for other groups to emulate. Regular meetings via secure video links allowed different cells to coordinate strategies and share discoveries about alien technology and behavior. The influx of new recruits brought both benefits and challenges. While numbers increased their capabilities, integrating diverse groups with varying levels of training and experience required significant effort. Marcus implemented rigorous training programs, emphasizing stealth, teamwork, and improvisation over traditional military tactics that often proved ineffective against alien advantages. Sophia spearheaded research initiatives, collaborating with scientists from various fields to analyze captured alien technology and develop countermeasures. Their breakthroughs, though incremental, provided crucial advantages in subsequent operations. Perhaps most significantly, the growing network enabled more comprehensive intelligence gathering. Patterns emerged from disparate reports, certain areas consistently avoided by aliens, particular times when their presence seemed minimal, and evidence of internal divisions within their ranks. These observations suggested that despite their technological superiority, the invaders faced constraints that could be exploited. The strengthened resistance movement also attracted attention from remnants of official military forces still operating covertly. Collaborations with these groups brought access to better equipment and strategic insights while maintaining operational independence. As winter approached, the expanded network faced new challenges. Harsh weather conditions affected mobility and communications, while increased alien activity suggested they were responding to the growing threat posed by coordinated human resistance. The aliens' true motives finally came to light through a combination of intercepted transmissions and analysis of biological samples recovered during Operation Phoenix. Dr. Chen's examination revealed that Earth's unique magnetic field resonance matched specific frequencies required for their species' reproduction cycle. Worse still, they viewed terrestrial life forms as incompatible with their evolutionary requirements, necessitating complete ecological replacement rather than coexistence. This chilling revelation explained their systematic alteration of Earth's atmosphere and climate patterns. They were terraforming the planet to suit their biology while simultaneously eradicating native species. The implications struck terror into the hearts of resistance members. Humanity wasn't merely facing conquest or enslavement. Extinction loomed as an immediate threat. Time became their most precious commodity, with calculations suggesting that complete ecological transformation could occur within 3 years if unchecked. This timeline forced the resistance to reconsider their strategies. Long-term plans gave way to increasingly bold operations aimed at disrupting alien activities wherever possible. The knowledge that every day bought time for potential breakthroughs drove them to take greater risks. Psychological effects rippled through the resistance ranks as fighters grappled with the enormity of their task. Some succumbed to despair, questioning whether continued resistance was futile against such overwhelming odds. Others found renewed determination in the face of extinction-level threats, channeling fear into focused action. Elena implemented mandatory debriefing sessions after each mission, recognizing the importance of mental health in maintaining operational effectiveness. These gatherings served dual purposes, allowing individuals to process traumatic experiences while reinforcing group cohesion. The revelation also unified disparate resistance cells worldwide, transcending previous divisions as groups recognized the common existential threat they faced. Shared purpose bred unprecedented cooperation, with cells freely exchanging resources and personnel to support global operations. Winter's arrival brought both challenges and opportunities for the resistance movement. Snowstorms and freezing temperatures forced adaptations in operational procedures, while reduced alien activity during severe weather provided breathing room for strategic planning. The Chicago cell transformed their underground base into a more permanent facility, reinforcing walls against frost and installing improved ventilation systems to combat moisture buildup. Resource management became even more critical as supply lines shortened due to hazardous travel conditions. Marcus implemented rotation schedules that minimized exposure while maintaining constant readiness, while Sophia's team worked tirelessly to develop cold weather modifications for their equipment. The season's harshest storm provided unexpected cover for a daring raid on an alien research facility located in what was once downtown Milwaukee. Utilizing thermal imaging technology scavenged from abandoned military installations, the strike team navigated through blinding snow to reach their objective undetected. Inside, they discovered evidence of extensive genetic experimentation combining human and alien DNA, horrifying confirmation of the invaders' intent to completely rewrite Earth's biological foundations. Samples retrieved during the mission proved invaluable for Sophia's research, though handling them required extreme precautions. The psychological toll of witnessing such atrocities manifested differently among team members. Captain Riley became increasingly withdrawn, obsessively reviewing flight data for signs of alien motherships, while Dr. Chun worked feverishly to decode alien biological patterns, barely sleeping for days at a time. Elena instituted mandatory rest periods and group meals to maintain team cohesion, understanding that mental resilience was as crucial as physical preparation. As winter dragged on, the Resistance developed specialized tactics for cold weather operations, including modified vehicles and clothing that incorporated alien materials for enhanced insulation. These innovations proved particularly effective during ambushes, allowing strike teams to remain concealed despite the harsh environment. The seasonal advantage also facilitated expansion of their network, as frozen waterways provided secure routes for moving supplies and personnel between cells. A breakthrough came unexpectedly during routine analysis of alien communication signals. Dr. Chun, working late in the lab while others slept, detected a repeating pattern embedded within what had previously been dismissed as random noise. The sequence, when isolated and slowed to audible frequencies, revealed distinct tonal variations that corresponded to changes in alien behavior. Further study revealed that these signals functioned as override commands for their automated systems, potentially offering a means to disrupt enemy operations. The discovery sparked frenzied activity within the Resistance cell. Sophia led a team to develop portable signal emitters capable of broadcasting modified versions of these commands, while Marcus trained special units in their deployment. The first field test occurred during an alien convoy transfer near Gary, Indiana. As Elena monitored communications from their command center, the strike team activated the emitter at precisely calculated intervals. To everyone's astonishment, several alien vehicles halted mid-maneuver, their occupants momentarily confused by conflicting instructions. Though the effect lasted only seconds, it created enough disruption for the team to infiltrate and gather valuable intelligence before withdrawing. Buoyed by this success, the Resistance refined their technique, discovering that certain frequency combinations could create temporary blind spots in alien sensor coverage. These windows of opportunity allowed for deeper infiltration of secured areas and more precise targeting of vulnerable points. Captain Riley adapted the technology for aerial operations, rigging drones with modified emitters that could create diversionary patterns across wider areas. The psychological impact on the aliens proved equally significant. For the first time, they exhibited signs of uncertainty and hesitation, their previously flawless coordination occasionally faltering. Resistance fighters began referring to the devices as dissonance generators, recognizing their power to sow confusion among the invaders. The breakthrough marked a turning point in the conflict, shifting the balance of power ever so slightly in humanity's favor. As word spread through Resistance networks, demand for the technology overwhelmed production capabilities, leading to collaborative efforts with other cells to manufacture and distribute the devices globally. The tide of the conflict began shifting subtly but significantly as Resistance cells worldwide integrated dissonance generator technology into their operations. Coordinated attacks utilizing the new capability achieved unprecedented success rates, forcing the aliens to modify their standard operating procedures. In Chicago, Elena orchestrated a series of lightning-fast strikes against alien infrastructure, each operation building upon lessons learned from previous engagements. The invaders responded by increasing security measures around their facilities, but this proved counterproductive as it concentrated their forces in predictable patterns. Marcus's tactical expertise shone during these operations, developing innovative ways to combine traditional guerrilla tactics with the strategic use of signal disruption. Surprise became their greatest weapon, striking when least expected and vanishing before effective countermeasures could be implemented. Sophia's research team made another crucial discovery. Certain harmonic frequencies amplified the effects of dissonance generators, creating cascading failures in alien systems. This breakthrough enabled smaller teams to achieve objectives that previously required full-scale assaults. The psychological impact rippled through alien ranks, manifesting in increasingly erratic behavior patterns. Reports emerged of internal conflicts among the invaders, suggesting that their hive mind structure was experiencing strain under the constant barrage of disruptive signals. Captain Riley's aerial reconnaissance missions documented changes in patrol patterns and response times, indicating that the aliens were struggling to adapt to humanity's evolving tactics. The resistance movement capitalized on these vulnerabilities, expanding their network of safe zones and establishing new forward operating bases closer to alien strongholds. Each successful operation generated valuable intelligence and resources, fueling further advances in their capabilities. The cumulative effect created a feedback loop of growing confidence and effectiveness among resistance fighters. Even setbacks failed to dampen their spirits, as each engagement provided data that improved future operations. As spring approached, bringing longer days and improved mobility, the resistance prepared for their most ambitious campaign, yet a multi-pronged assault on key alien installations across North America, timed to coincide with a predicted solar storm that would enhance the effectiveness of their signal disruption technology. Spring's arrival brought not only warmer weather but also an alarming development: the emergence of human-alien hybrid soldiers among enemy ranks. These genetically engineered warriors combined human adaptability with alien resilience, making them formidable opponents who understood human tactics while possessing superior physical capabilities. The first encounter occurred during a routine supply run near the outskirts of Chicago. What initially appeared to be a group of survivors seeking refuge turned out to be a carefully orchestrated trap featuring these hybrid soldiers. Their presence forced the resistance to completely rethink engagement protocols, as traditional identification methods proved unreliable. The hybrid's ability to mimic human appearance and behavior created paranoia within resistance ranks, leading to stricter verification procedures that sometimes delayed crucial operations. Dr. Chen's analysis of captured hybrid tissue samples revealed disturbing truths about their creation process. The aliens had accelerated their genetic modification program, using harvested human DNA to produce these soldiers at an alarming rate. More concerning was evidence suggesting that some hybrids retained fragments of their original human consciousness, creating ethical dilemmas for resistance fighters who hesitated before engaging targets that might still possess elements of their former selves. Elena implemented a controversial policy requiring positive identification of alien characteristics before engaging any humanoid target, though this often proved impossible in the heat of combat. The hybrid's introduction fundamentally altered battlefield dynamics, forcing the resistance to develop new tactics specifically designed to counter their abilities. Marcus trained specialized hunter-killer teams to recognize subtle behavioral cues and physiological markers distinguishing hybrids from genuine humans. These units operated independently, given broad discretion in determining appropriate responses to potential hybrid threats. The psychological burden of fighting former allies proved devastating for many resistance members, leading to increased incidents of combat stress and moral questioning. Sophia's team worked feverishly to develop detection methods based on quantum signature analysis of cellular structures, hoping to provide definitive identification capabilities. Meanwhile, Captain Riley's aerial units documented hybrid deployment patterns, searching for weaknesses in their operational doctrine. The situation grew increasingly complex as some hybrids began demonstrating independent thought, raising questions about their loyalty to alien commanders and potential for defection. The climactic battle unfolded during a rare celestial alignment that amplified Earth's magnetic field, creating optimal conditions for signal disruption technology. Resistance cells across North America synchronized their attacks on key alien installations, while the Chicago cell targeted the Nexus itself, the central hub controlling all alien operations on Earth. Elena led the strike team personally, knowing this might be humanity's last chance to turn the tide. As their stolen alien transport approached the massive vessel hovering above Lake Michigan, dissonance generators broadcast overlapping frequencies that created chaos among alien defenders. The hybrids proved particularly vulnerable to the enhanced signals, their genetically engineered neural pathways overloading under the conflicting inputs. Inside the Nexus, the Resistance discovered a horrifying sight: vast chambers filled with incubation pods containing millions of hybrid embryos in various stages of development. Dr. Chen's worst fears were confirmed. The aliens planned to replace humanity entirely with these engineered soldiers. The team split into smaller units, planting explosive charges while maintaining constant signal disruption. Marcus's unit encountered heavy resistance near the central control chamber, where alien commanders converged in a desperate attempt to restore order. Their hive-mind connection, already strained by months of signal interference, began breaking down under the intensified assault. Sophia's technical team worked furiously to interface with alien systems, searching for a master control sequence that could disable all hybrid production facilities simultaneously. The psychological toll mounted as resistance fighters faced former friends and family members transformed into hybrid soldiers, their eyes reflecting both recognition and hostility. Captain Riley's aerial support provided crucial covering fire, his modified drones creating elaborate diversion patterns that drew alien reinforcements away from critical objectives. As charges detonated throughout the Nexus, triggering chain reactions that compromised structural integrity, Elena confronted the central alien commander in a final, desperate showdown. The creature's crystalline form pulsed with energy as it attempted to overwhelm her with psychic assault, but months of exposure to alien technology had unexpectedly granted her limited resistance to their mental domination. With time running out and the Nexus beginning to collapse, the strike team executed their extraction plan, racing through disintegrating corridors while maintaining signal disruption to prevent alien counterattacks. The aftermath of the Nexus's destruction reverberated across the planet, both literally and figuratively. Massive shockwaves rippled through alien command structures as their central coordination node ceased to function. Hybrid soldiers, suddenly cut off from their creator's influence, began exhibiting unpredictable behavior, some attacking their former masters, others wandering aimlessly, and a few seeking refuge with human resistance cells. The sudden loss of centralized control exposed crucial vulnerabilities in the aliens' occupation strategy, revealing that their seeming invincibility had been largely dependent on perfect coordination. Resistance movements worldwide capitalized on the chaos, launching coordinated offensives that reclaimed significant territories. In Chicago, the surviving core team emerged from their battered underground base to find alien forces retreating from major urban centers, consolidating around remaining motherships in orbit. The victory came at tremendous cost. Nearly half their number had perished during the assault on the Nexus, including several key members whose sacrifices ensured mission success. Those who survived carried physical and psychological scars that would never fully heal. Dr. Chun, having witnessed the full extent of alien plans for humanity's replacement, dedicated himself to studying captured hybrid subjects, searching for ways to reverse their condition while grappling with ethical questions about their status as victims or weapons. Sophia's research team worked around the clock analyzing data recovered from the Nexus, piecing together the aliens' terraforming timetable and identifying potential countermeasures. The psychological impact on resistance fighters manifested in different ways. Some threw themselves into rebuilding efforts with manic intensity, while others struggled with survivors' guilt and post-traumatic stress. Elena implemented comprehensive support programs, recognizing that maintaining mental health was crucial for sustaining their gains. The liberated territories presented new challenges, restoring basic infrastructure, addressing food shortages, and dealing with millions of displaced civilians. Former resistance cells transitioned into provisional governments, attempting to establish order while preparing for potential alien retaliation. Captured alien technology, once jealously guarded, now flowed freely between groups working to understand and adapt it for human use. The victory had bought humanity precious time, but everyone understood that the aliens wouldn't abandon their plans without fierce resistance. As weeks passed without significant alien counterattacks, the resistance movement evolved into something more substantial, a global coalition working to rebuild civilization while preparing for whatever came next. The captured alien technology proved both blessing and curse. While it enabled rapid advancements in energy production, medicine, and material science, it also created new power dynamics among human factions. Some groups advocated for cautious integration of alien knowledge, while others pushed for aggressive exploitation regardless of potential consequences. Elena found herself navigating these political waters as much as military ones, mediating disputes between different cells over resource allocation and strategic priorities. The hybrid situation remained particularly contentious. Dr. Chen's research indicated that some hybrids retained sufficient human consciousness to potentially reintegrate into society, but public opinion remained divided. Incidents of hybrid violence, whether intentional or accidental, fueled anti-hybrid sentiment that threatened to undermine unity. Marcus established special containment facilities where willing hybrids could receive treatment and rehabilitation, though these sites required constant protection from extremist groups on both sides of the issue. Sophia's team made groundbreaking progress in understanding alien terraforming technology, identifying methods to reverse some environmental changes while adapting others to benefit Earth's recovering ecosystems. Their work revealed that certain modifications actually addressed long-standing ecological issues humanity had failed to solve, raising complex questions about rejecting potentially beneficial alien innovations outright. Captain Riley's aerial units expanded their role to include atmospheric monitoring and early warning systems, tracking changes in Earth's magnetic field and weather patterns for signs of renewed alien activity. The psychological landscape shifted as survivors processed their experiences. Support groups formed naturally, bringing together former resistance fighters, civilians, and even rehabilitated hybrids in shared spaces where healing could begin. Stories of sacrifice and survival emerged, becoming part of a new collective narrative about humanity's resilience. Educational initiatives sprang up to document lessons learned, ensuring that future generations would understand both the price paid for their freedom and the responsibilities that came with newfound technological capabilities. The global coalition established protocols for sharing resources and coordinating defense, creating a framework that might eventually evolve into a new world order. Yet beneath this tentative progress lay constant awareness that the aliens still orbited Earth, their intentions unclear but their presence undeniable. The story concluded not with triumphant celebration, but with sober recognition of ongoing challenges and responsibilities. Humanity stood at a crossroads, possessing knowledge and technology that could either save or destroy their world. Elena, now officially recognized as leader of the global coalition, presided over debates about how to proceed. Some argued for immediate offensive action against remaining alien forces, while others advocated for focusing on Earth's recovery and preparing defenses against potential return. The decision ultimately rested on finding balance, continuing scientific advancement while safeguarding against repeating mistakes that had left humanity vulnerable in the first place. Dr. Chen's hybrid rehabilitation program showed promising results, with several subjects successfully readjusting to human society. These cases provided hope that even those touched by alien influence could reclaim their humanity, though the process remained delicate and uncertain. Sophia's environmental restoration efforts demonstrated that responsible application of alien technology could heal some wounds inflicted during the invasion, though reversing all changes would take generations. Marcus's security forces evolved into a global peacekeeping organization, maintaining order while defending against both external threats and internal conflicts arising from power struggles over alien technology. Captain Riley's monitoring stations detected occasional fluctuations in alien ship positions, suggesting that their departure might not be permanent. The coalition invested heavily in early warning systems and defensive infrastructure, understanding that vigilance remained crucial. Perhaps most significantly, humanity's perspective had shifted fundamentally. The invasion had shattered illusions of isolation and supremacy, forcing recognition of their place within a larger cosmic context. New educational systems emphasized cooperation, adaptability, and responsible stewardship of both Earth and acquired knowledge. Cultural exchanges between former resistance cells fostered understanding and unity, replacing old divisions with shared purpose. As Elena looked out over a city beginning to rebuild, she acknowledged that true victory lay not in defeating enemies, but in building something stronger from the ashes of conflict. The road ahead remained uncertain, filled with both promise and peril, but for the first time in months, she felt genuine hope for humanity's future. Remember to subscribe to our channel to continue following humanity's journey in this brave new world.